Hey guys, Aaron from the Ballpit here, back with another episode of the Writer's Block, the show where I pretty much talk or do whatever I feel like doing. It's the Aaron show. Just run with what I want to. And today I want to discuss a pretty serious and important topic, which is the recent allegations that are out about actor slash political commentator Russell Brand. So actually, if you're not too well informed on the allegations or what happened, I have a tweet here from the Surfs that kind of it sums it up pretty well, and I will read that. Real quick before we get started, I just want to put a trigger warning in on this tweet. There's talk of rape, sexual assault, everything else. So if you're not comfortable with hearing about that, you should probably click off the video because it is pretty descriptive on that front. The Russell Brand rape accusations are really bad. They include grooming and raping a 16-year-old and tons of corroborated testimony, including women who went to rape crisis centers. There's hundreds of sources cited, and again, was apparently an industry secret everybody knew. And then here have some pulled up of some of the claims. The findings come from a joint investigation by the Sunday Times, The Times, and Channel 4 dispatches. One woman alleges that Brand raped her against a wall in his Los Angeles home. She was treated at a rape crisis center on the same day, according to medical records. Text messages show that in the hours after leaving his house, she told Brand that she had been scared by him and felt taken advantage of, adding, "When a girl says no, it means no." Brand replied, saying he was very sorry. A second woman alleges that Brand assaulted her when he was 31 and she was 16 and still at school. She said he referred to her as the child during an emotionally abusive and controlling relationship that lasted for about 3 months, and that Brand once forced his penis down her throat, making her choke. She says she tried to push him off and said she had to punch him in the stomach to make him stop. A third woman claims that he sexually assaulted her while she worked with him in Los Angeles, and that he threatened to take legal action if she told anyone else about her allegation. The fourth described being sexually assaulted by Brand and him being physically and emotionally abusive towards her. All said they felt ready to speak only after being approached by reporters. Several said they felt compelled to do so given Brand's newfound prominence as an online wellness influencer with millions of followers on YouTube and other sites. The others have accused him of physical and emotional abuse, sexual harassment, and bullying. Most of the women who do not know each other have chosen to remain anonymous. Over the past few years, reporters have interviewed hundreds of sources who knew or worked with Brand, ex-girlfriends and their friends and family, comedians and other celebrities, people who worked with him on radio and TV, and senior staff at the BBC, Channel 4, and other media organizations. Along with these interviews, reporters have seen private emails and text messages submitted Freedom of Information requests, viewed medical and therapist notes, scrutinized Brand's books and interviews, and watched and listened to hundreds of hours of his shows on the BBC, Channel 4, and YouTube to corroborate allegations. So as you can see from the post by the Surfs right there, the evidence stacked against Brand is detailed, thorough, and seemingly accurate. Again, this is not being done in front of a court of law currently. However, the evidence is present. And now, while those things did happen and it is important to raise awareness about them, there is more to discuss regarding it. All throughout social media, especially on Twitter, you have people that are standing with Russell Brand. They're supporting Russell Brand, and some are even claiming that the only reason these allegations have come out at all is a targeted attempt to silence Russell Brand, as his political / wellness quote-unquote videos have started to lean more conservative in the past couple years, months and years, and said that he crossed the line of speaking truth and getting too popular, and they decided that they had to cancel him and silence him in doing so. Now, I think those claims are very, very far-fetched, and I believe those claims are personally harmful offensive, and anybody who engages in such claims should be embarrassed and ashamed of their actions and words. The first point that I have to make is that it is incredibly important to stand with victims in claims like this. Russell Brand is in a position of authority over these women due to his fame and money, and because of his placement in the conservative community, is going to immediately garner protection and support from such as any time their conservative pundits get in any form of trouble, they immediately rush to their defense. And it is not fair to the women who have stepped forward as victims and have given information on what happened with them with Russell to have to see all these disgusting things said, alleged about them on the internet, and supporting their accuser, the person who did this stuff to them. It's awful and it's disgusting. And even if your claim, your point here is that it is innocent until proven guilty, the innocent until proven guilty and standing with the victims are not mutually exclusive. You can stand and support the victim's right to say these things and still wait to fully condemn what Russell Brand did until the legal information is put out there. That is my personal stance. I 100% support and stand with the women, and I hope and pray that all of this documented information that is said right here gets put in front of a judge in a court of law, and the proper sentence and punishment is given to Russell Brand. However, having said that, if it gets to the trial date and for some reason it is revealed that all of this was faked, I will step forward and apologize to Russell Brand. However, given the information that we're seeing, I don't believe it'll be so. And even if the information that we have in front of us was not as stable and not as detailed and thorough as it is, I will still stand with the victims, because seeing negative comments and support for the potential abusers all over the internet makes it so that victims in the future are less likely to step forward with their story. And it is incredibly important for all victims to feel comfortable coming forward and sharing their stories with their abusers, because I feel like it shouldn't be a hot take that nobody wants abusers just walking around in public, in society, where they could potentially abuse again without facing repercussions or some form of treatment of some kind to interfere and stop this from happening. It is so, so, so important to stand with victims in a time like this. And I can only reiterate that the people that are siding with Russell Brand right now and publicly talking about how the women that came forward with their personal stories about him as an abuser are part of a left-wing puppetry to take down the truth-telling Russell Brand, the people that allege that are disgusting humans. Absolutely disgusting. And a lot of them consider themselves religious, mostly Christian. If that's the case, I think you need to spend a lot of time reflecting and a lot of time walking with your God and walking with Christ and reading the New Testament. Because if you actually spent the time to learn about what your good book says you are to do as a Christian, you would be fucking ashamed of yourself for doing this. That's all I have to say. So that makes me incredibly angry. And to everybody watching this video, please, 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 please remember to support victims in situations like this. It is so incredibly important. Thank you guys very much for watching. That's me done. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope that justice is served in this situation.